morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Squigs reporting for the Poetry Times, headline news and festivals in and of and around the world of poetry. Broadcasting from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, acknowledging Treaty 1 territory, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, Ojibwe, Dene, and Dakota, and is the birthplace and heart of the Métis homeland nation. Today in Canada, the capital city of Ottawa has named Anishinaabe elder Albert Dumont of the Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabe First Nation as this year's English Language Poet Laureate. Jason Pickering reports for CBC.ca. Albert Dumont is an Algonquin poet, storyteller, and artist. He penned his first poem, The Path My Children Would Travel, for his daughters to mark 5 years of sobriety nearly 3 decades ago. Albert Dumont continues to and has since written hundreds of poems. He has become a celebrated spiritual advisor and Algonquin elder. The Ottawa City Council hosted a ceremony last Wednesday recognizing the new laureates. Albert Dumont will be joining French language laureate Gilles Latour. For more on this, please check out cbc.ca. As well in Canada, the Griffin Poetry Prize shortlist and judges has recently been announced. The Griffin Poetry Prize is awarded annually in two categories, international and Canadian. Each prize is worth $65,000 in each category. The prize for the best collection of poetry in English published during the preceding year. One prize goes to a living Canadian poet or translator, and the other to a living poet or translator of any country. The judges this year are the author Sue Van Kam Thamavongsa, as well as editor, translator, and initiator of artistic cultural events Alish Steger, and the author and editor and translator Ilya Kaminsky. This year's shortlist for the international category is poet Victoria Chang for their book Obit, published by Copper Canyon Press, Valzhina Mort for their book Music of the Dead, for the Dead and Resurrected, published by Farrar, Strauss, and Garou, as well as Sinkranth Reddy, Underworld Lit, for their book Underworld Lit, published by Wave Books. And as well, Tracy Smith and Chang T.B., translating from the Chinese, written by Yi Li, book My Name Will Grow Wide Like a Tree, published by Grey Wolf Press. And in the Canadian category, we have poet Joseph Dandurand for his book The East Side of It All, publisher Nightwood Editions, as well as Kanisha Lubrin for their book Disgraphist, publisher McClelland and Stewart, and poet Yusuf Saadi for their book Pluviophile, publisher Nightwood Editions. For more information of the Griffin Poetry Prize, please visit the griffinpoetryprize.com website, as well as stay tuned for their Twitter and Facebook accounts, Twitter and Facebook accounts for further announcements. Now, across the pond, in the UK and Ireland-based charity, Forward Arts Foundation is looking to recruit 4 new trustee members for their board. Among these, 2 young trustees under 30. According to their website, Forward Arts Foundation is an organization which promotes public knowledge, understanding, and enjoyment of poetry in the UK and Ireland. They are committed to widening poetry's audience, honoring achievement, and supporting talent. Their programs include the Forward Prizes for Poetry, the Forward Book of Poetry, an annual anthology of the year's best poems, as well as National Poetry Day, which will be held on the first Thursday of October. Though these roles are voluntary and unpaid, it is a great opportunity for either aspiring or seasoned writers of the UK and Ireland to be more involved in the promotion of poetry and growing their community. The deadline for applications are on the 3rd of June 2021. For more information, please check out their website www.forwardartsfoundation.org/workwithus and follow them on Instagram. Their accounts being National Poetry Day as well as Forward Prizes. Both are one word. And now for some sad news. Writer Anthony Thwaite has passed away on the 22nd of April. He was in turn literary editor of The Listener and The New Statesman and co-editor of Encounter. He has had a lifelong passion for archaeology of ancient Rome and North Africa, As a poet, Anthony Thwaite was regarded as being contemporaries with those of the movement, including Philip Larkin, Kingsley Ames, Elizabeth Jennings, Tom Gunn, John Wayne, and DJ Enright. You can still watch his recordings of him reciting his poetry online and on YouTube. For more information on this, please visit www.theguardian.com. He was 90 years of age. And now for poetry festivals currently going on around the world. Hay Festival Wales will take place the 26th of May until the 6th of June 2021, broadcasting more than 200 of the world's greatest writers, thinkers, and performers live from Hay on Wye in a free online extravaganza. There will be workshops, interviews, and conversations with the likes of Tom Jeffries, Alex Hartley, and Anne de Chaumont, as well as events such as Richard Flanagan talks with Stephanie Merritt, and Sarah Raven and Carolyn Dunster talk with Arthur Parkinson. You may browse programs, choose events, and register for free, and there is no limit to the events you would wish to register for at their website, www.hayfestival.com. And this should prove to be a wondrous and insightful 10 days of poetry. Thank you for your time. Once again, I am Squigs reporting from Winnipeg, Canada for the Poetry Times. And now over to my lovely co-host, Lisa, across the pond in the UK. How's the weather out there, Lisa?
It's great. Its sun has just started to come out of the sky, and after a relentless day of raining. Thank you for all of that news. I'm going to check out some of that Canadian poetry from the Griffin Poetry Prize because I realise I need a Canadian collection in my life. Thank you so much. So I'm Lisa O'Hare, and I am based in the north of England, where it has been relentlessly raining, but the sun has started to pop out. Every day, I will be bringing you information about poetry workshops, courses, and residencies. These are the places where you can connect with your work and other poets, learn more about the craft of poetry, get inspired or delve deeper into your own work over the course of a few hours in a workshop, to a week or a month in a residency, all the way up to where you might secure a place as a poet in residence. Where to look and when to apply. What they are looking for, who is running them, and what it might cost, or if there is a rare chance of winning a place. I will go down the Google rabbit hole and save things we scroll past on social media so you don't have to. But if you have workshops or residencies you want to bring to my attention, please get in touch in the comments. For those of you new to poetry, like myself, who only started in 2019, a great starting place can be found on writers.com. They have a great article explaining what to expect at a poetry workshop, along with a number of links to workshops coming up in the next few weeks. I have recently taken part in a series of weekly workshops with the incredible Apples and Snakes in the UK called the Red Sky Sessions. Whilst these workshops are currently over, some of the content from the workshops is now going up on their YouTube channel, and I can personally recommend checking those videos out to learn new techniques and hear great tips, advice, and motivation from some of the best poets in the UK right now. Now for some residency news. And I'll start close to home with news of Manchester City of Literature and Manchester's Festival of Libraries, who are seeking applications for a virtual residency 3 weeks in June. This opportunity is open to residents of the 39 UNESCO cities of literature, but it is not open to those of you who are already lucky enough to live in Manchester. The deadline to apply is 11th of May. And during the residency, writers will be hosted by one of Manchester's historic and inspiring libraries, with the opportunity to explore their online collections and archives, find out more about Manchester's literary heritage and collections, and enjoy virtual tours of the city. I am biased, but this is a great city with some of the best libraries. During the residency, the writers will be encouraged to share their experience of the city with Manchester's literary community via social media and produce a new piece of writing responding to Manchester or the links to their home city. Moving on to real life residencies. Whilst a lot of real life residencies and workshops have been stifled by the coronavirus pandemic, as with everything else, we at the Poetry Times have found some open applications for you right now. This week, we bring you news of an amazing opportunity in Kentucky, USA, at the Black Acre State Nature Preserve and Homestead. Applications are open till the 14th of June 2021, and you will need to send a cover letter explaining what you intend to accomplish during your stay, a biography, examples of your poetry, and your CV. The application costs $20, and more details can be found at blackacreconservancy.org. See the link for this and all the places that we are mentioning in the comments below. Meanwhile, over in New York State, Craig Arden will accept fellowship applications for a sponsored 1-month residency. Competition for a single place will be fierce, and the deadline to submit applications for the next place is the 1st of August 2021. Now, let's move to workshops. Workshops are coming to their own during lockdown, with a widespread use of Zoom making workshops across the world accessible. I will work week in, week out to bring you information and workshops that are coming up and that you can get involved in. These can be a great way to meet new poets, develop your work, and find new and different perspectives and techniques. The Poetry School at poetryschool.com have a comprehensive list of awesome classes on their website, including one using the TV classic Twin Peaks as inspiration, from a starting price of £75, but snap them up quickly because they sell out fast. Meanwhile, over at poetrybusiness.co.uk, there are a wealth of upcoming online workshops from a starting price of £27.50, each happening weekly and are currently scheduled all the way up to June 2021. Now, southbankpoetry.co.uk have a good range of formal workshops on their website, from masterclasses in prose to rhyme to syntax for £25. And finally, this week we want to share the online workshops by Laurie and Gemma Bolger, who you can find on Eventbrite. They do breakfast, supper, and even yoga-based writing clubs in a lovely, safe environment for your words. That's all from me. And now over to Martin with some poetry news from his part of England.
Thank you, Lisa. You know, I wish this part of England would brighten up as yours is doing. It's as rainy and windy as ever here.
I feel very lucky that it started to pop out.
Better late than never, hey?
Definitely.
Absolutely. So thank you for that, Lisa. So my name is Martin Gray, and I am a performance poet based in Nottingham in the UK. And each week on the Poetry Times, I will be bringing you details of interesting poetry submissions, new poetry books that have caught our eye, and from time to time, details on creative funding if you're looking for some money for your project. First up, poetry submission news. And the Aurora Prize for Writing is currently open for submissions. This is run by the UK group Writing East Midlands. The winner will receive a £500 cash prize and also feedback on their work from a literary agent, which is pretty cool. There are also smaller prizes available for second and third placed poems. Entries to this cost £9 for your first poem, and each additional poem will cost an additional £7 of entry. The competition is open to anyone in the world, as long as you are 18 or over. According to Writing East Midlands, the prizes will be awarded to outstanding new writing. Poems can be on any subject. Just submit by the 7th of June to writingeastmidlands.co.uk. Submission also closing on the 7th of June is for issue 91 of Mislexia, which is a well-known and well-respected poetry journal here in the UK. Their latest issue is on the theme of roots, so if you want to submit to that, please do submit a poem to them, as long as it is 40 lines or less. Each published poem will receive a small payment from Mislexia. Submissions are free, however, they are only open to female identifying writers, and you can submit up to 4 poems to the issue. Submit at mislexia.co.uk. That's MSLEXIA.co.uk. Finally, on submissions, the Open Collab are shortly taking submissions for their next live stream. The Open Collab are Charlie and Jake, who are 2 Bristol-based folk musicians that have spent a number of years touring the UK folk festival circuit. Each night on YouTube, they host a monthly event where they improvise folk and jazz music over your poems. If you want to enter, just send them an audio or video recording of you performing your poem. And if they want to feature you, just sit back and enjoy what they do with your poem on the night. Entry to this is free, and it's at opencollab.co.uk or at the Open Collab on Instagram. On to new book news now, in a section I'm calling Hot Off the Indie Press. See what I did there with sporting indie presses. But yes, 3 exciting new books have caught our eye this week. The first of which is After Effects by G.E. Lee, which was published at the end of March through the Manchester-based Fly on the Wall Press. And it's available for £6.99 as a paperback and £2.99 as an ebook. I myself have just finished reading it and I can absolutely recommend it. G is a British Korean poet based in Newcastle in the UK. And her first chapbook is a delicate and moving collection of poems about the after the time, after trauma, after loss, after war. Tender poems told through family, cultural identity, and relationships. You can get the book through Amazon or through flyonthewallpress.co.uk. Also, what caught our eye this week are 2 new books by Derby UK-based poets published through Verve Poetry Press, who are a Birmingham UK-based poetry press. First is The Man Who Ate 50,000 Weetabix by Sophie Sparham, which is the follow-up to Sophie's 2017 collection, Please Mind the Gap. This was released on the 22nd of April and costs £9.99 from vervepoetrypress.com. If it's anything like Sophie's first collection, the book is a collection which explores the tension between masculinity and freedom in a Derbyshire setting, with poems weaved between fathers, pubs, music, and the expectations we put on ourselves. A celebration of the mundane, the graffiti on toilet doors, bad takeaway names, fake ID, Wetherspoons carpets, and local Star Trek appreciation fan clubs. Now, our second Derby-based poet publishing through Verve is Charlotte Lunn, whose first book, Metamorphosis, will be released on the 6th of May. And again, this will cost £9.99 from vervepoetrypress.com. As described on their website, the book is feeding us to the years we are not yet ready for, the healing years, a transcendence through abuse, which is about human connection and a connection to nature. Influenced by Plath and spoken word, Charlotte explores her repressed childhood, mental health illness, and the journey to recovery. Now, on to finance news now, which is going to be a semi-regular feature on the Poetry Times. And as an expert in writing rejected funding bids, I feel qualified to bring this section to you. Each week, or each period of time, I'll be bringing you information on interesting funding bids that may be suitable for any creative projects that you're currently working on. Now, we start with 2 new UK-based funding search websites that were launched at the start of April 2021. The first is myfundingcentral.co.uk. Now, this is a search engine that's available to England-based communities, charities, and small organisations, and it is free to subscribe to them if your project's turnover is £30,000 or less, which, if you're running a small project, then it most likely is. Now, they don't say exactly how many funders they have or how much money they have, but they do tend to focus on small value community-based funding and, to an extent, corporate funding. Essentially, if you're familiar with Money Supermarket or any type of search engine for credit cards, car insurance, that type of thing, it's essentially like that, but for creative funding. Now, the second that was launched at the start of April is fundsonline.org.uk. Now, this is another UK-based website who claim to have 8,512 public and corporate funders. And that's a very specific number. And they claim to have over £8 billion of funding that they have to give away, which is fantastic. Now, subscriptions to this are very steep. They do start from a few £100s a year, which is obviously quite prohibitive for most of us. However, this is exactly the sort of service that your local library will have access to. So if you're interested in exploring the service, check with your local library, and if they do have it, then you can get down and do your research there, and then you can follow up with the funders individually. That's all from me for this section, and I now pass you over back across the pond to the wonderful Domo. How's it going, Domo?
Hi. Hi, Martin. I do not like reading, but those books look very interesting, so I look forward to those.
Much recommended. Very much recommend everyone to get them.
Yay, cool. To the viewers, I guess, I would like to say hi. I'm Dominique Bethel, otherwise known as Domo Beth, here in my studio in Pompano Beach, Florida. I hope your ears have been primed for more exciting news, as I will be here every week to bring you the latest news on upcoming poetry slams, competitions, and open mic nights. I can personally attest that this is a community you would love to be a part of. These are fun opportunities for you to hear other amazing artists in action and get your own voice heard and recognized. Get ready to create a name for yourself in the snaps and claps created by your 3 or more minute piece to leave audiences in awe and viewers wanting more, wondering where to start first. I have personally made friends with the beast that is Google and scaled the mountains of social media posts to provide you with a few up-and-coming poetry events to keep your eye out for. If you have any slams or open mics, or you know of any poetry prizes events coming up, please share those information in the comment section. We would love to be able to support you and other poetry and writing events out there. If you are new to poetry, I know the perfect way to get your feet wet. No, I'm not going to say cannonball. I'm just going to say dip a toe. These upcoming open mic night events will be perfect opportunity for you to get comfortable with performing online and finding other voices that you cannot find at your local bar or in your bedroom if you're like me. Want to experience a vacation from the comfort of your home and take your mind on a journey of spoken arts? Join Japan's biggest international open mic this Saturday on May 8th. Kotoba Poetry Slam will be hosting an online open mic at 2100 Japan Standard Time, otherwise known as May 8th, 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for us in the US. Please join this promising open mic and take the shared love for writing, singing, and performing all through the eyes of many different cultures. This is a time to be brought together through our differences, and with the help of the internet, we all know it has its moments where we would rather be in person, but this is a very rare opportunity for us to be able to cross oceans all from the comfort of our PJs in our bedroom. While you are looking for things to add to your busy schedules, you may want to check out these other 2 open mic nights located in the US. Born out of the shutdown of the world, if you are looking for a mic that embodies the celebration of others in solitude, check out this New York virtual open mic night by the name of Isolation Begun. I really like the name. It is hosted on Monday nights from 8:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If singing, songwriting, and music pulls your heartstrings, please join this talent-filled open mic night located in Massachusetts, where the world fell silent. They strive to continue to create beautiful music that everyone can enjoy, even from the comfort of our homes. The Passim musical open mic night is hosted every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. These events can be found on Eventbrite as well. Sorry. If you are a more experienced poet like myself, and you find joy in performing and competing, these poetry slams may be the place where you're looking for. Located in the United Kingdom, this slam is known for bringing out the worst in words, as the sickest poets bring all in their A game, and they chant for the chance to be known as a Vogon Poetry Slam winner. The upcoming Vogon Poetry Slam will be held on May 25th from 7 to 9 Greenwich Mean Time. I encourage you to all get out there and get known for your wordplay and your amazing literary techniques. If you are looking for another slam to add to your resume, the San Jose Poetry Slam also has a $5 entry fee and will be held on May 9th from 8:30 to 11 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Lastly, want a fun way to win money? There is a poetry prize currently being offered by Creative Manchester, a United Kingdom organization. The competition will be placed on Twitter. Simply write a micro poem to the theme of space by June 21st and look forward to winning a €500 prize. Please check out these links in our chat or our section for more information for how to get involved in these amazing upcoming opportunities. Lastly, thank you for giving me the opportunity to inform you. Sorry, it's really hot here in Florida. What's new? But I was wondering what the weather would be like in the UK. Martin, what is the weather like?
Well, the weather is still pretty terrible here, unfortunately. However, the weather in Poetry Land is looking pretty fabulous at the moment. Specifically, it is Night Rain by Bruce Lee. And yes, I do mean that Bruce Lee from Enter the Dragon, etc. Now, I don't know about you, I never realised until recently that Bruce Lee was a poet. And it turns out he was really quite a fine poet. There are over 20 of his poems available at the website poeticus.com. And so for the weather today, we bring you Night Rain by Bruce Lee. I sit through the long night in the high tower and listen to the autumn rain outside my window. There is no sound of human life, save now and then a belated traveller hastening by. Through the dark heaven, a wild goose wings his lonely flight. In the chill gloom, a cricket calls. The water drips mournfully from the tuang trees, and the blossoms flutter sadly to rain-soaked earth. Sadness broods over the world. I fear to walk in my garden, lest I see a pair of butterflies disporting in the sun among the flowers. Thank you, which just leaves it for us to say thank you very much for watching. This has been the Poetry Times. Now, we are here every Monday at 7 p.m. UK time. We also have some other shows as part of the Poetry Global Network. We have Poets React every Friday at 1 a.m. UK time. We also have the Poets Lighthouse every Saturday at 3 a.m. UK time. And remember, we are here every Monday at 7 p.m. So we hope to see you next week. And in the meantime, this has been the Poetry Times. Keep on poeting, and we'll see you next time.